2013, I'm sorry. Administrator at a large university wants to conduct a survey to estimate the proportion of students who are satisfied with the appearance of university buildings and grounds. So they are going to ask the first 500 people who go to, well, actually, they're going to talk through it. They want to ask 500 students out of the 70,000 people who are attending the university. So one of the thoughts was, all right, because of financial constraints, we are just going to ask the first 500 students who show up at the next football game. And then they ask you why might such a sampling method be bad? Again, you can jump on this pretty quick, I would imagine. But just to be clear, and I really want to point out some of the pluses, I mean, one of the things you need to stress for the exam readers here. Okay, a couple of things here. First of all, the 500 students most likely won't be representative of the school population. Good. So as they arrive early, they might have more school pride than others. You may also mention something like they're obviously you like school sports. That may have an impact of what's going on versus people who don't like sports. The athletic buildings might be newer than other buildings, that type of thing. But because of this, because they arrive early, they might have more school pride than others. And because of this pride, sampling of students those students might be more satisfied with what's going on than the student body as a whole. Okay, and actually more satisfied with what? The appearance of the buildings and grounds. So the two things that you need to do here is this. First of all, you have to state that the first 500 won't be a representative sample. So that's the first part that's important for full credit. Essential knowledge on this. The second part is because, and what might that group have? They might have more pride. So whatever they have, what might be different about that sample versus the whole population as a whole, how might that impact directly, and then go back to the context. So these people might have more school pride. That will then impact with what's going on. Or again, with the sports thing. These are avid sports fans. They may be around the sports areas of school campus more. Oftentimes, those are the nicer areas because those are the seen by the public more. So therefore, they will have a better impression about what the appearance of buildings and grounds will be like. Okay, so why is it not a representative of the population, and then how will that fact impact the results that we're trying to get? In part B down here, because a large number of students in the university, second method of the administrator is considering consists of using a computer with a random number generator to select a simple random sample of 500 from a list of 700,000. Describe how to implement such a method. Pretty straightforward. Assign all students a number from 1 to 70,000. Use the random number generator on the computer to get a random list of 500 numbers that don't repeat or without replacement. And then contact the students who correspond to those numbers. Okay, so again, you have to say, how is the population going to be numbered? How is the sample going to be taken? So again, random number generator, if it's smaller, you can put numbers in a hat, whatever. You don't have to get into a lot of detail, but just say, this is the way I'm going to do it. And then after that, make sure that you say that those are the people you're going to contact and relate it back to the population. All right. Now page down will work. So because it worked too well. Because stratification can provide more precise sampling, a more precise estimate than a simple random sample. The third method the administrator is considering is selecting a stratified random sample of 500 students. Again, now in your head, you should be thinking, okay, that means we're going to break up the population and then simple random sample within those populations. The university has 2 campuses with male and female students at both campuses. Under what circumstances would stratification by campus provide more precise estimate about the proportion of students who are satisfied than the appearance than universities or buildings or grounds stratified by gender? All right. Couple of things. Stratification here by campus would be important if there were greater differences in the opinion of the buildings and grounds between the students at the different campuses rather than between the genders. Okay, so if you're seeing a difference that one campus is liking what they're seeing more than the other, then it would make a lot more sense to go through and do stratification by campus rather than by gender. So let's say if there's a difference of 10% between the 2 campuses, but 3% by gender, definitely stratify by the campus. Yep, and that would be something like that. you could potentially get bogged down in terms of saying, well, one campus could be newer, so they may see it, and that would probably be fine, but you need to be specifically say that there is a difference, that the differences between the campuses are bigger than what's going on by gender. You do need to mention both characteristics, and if you don't, then you're only going to get a partial on this section here, which then would obviously would keep you from probably getting a 4 on the question. So again, you need to say this needs to be done because we're going to see a bigger difference between the two campuses, and that bigger difference is going to happen more, it's going to be bigger than what you're going to see between the two genders. Okay, so that's section 4, chapter 4 from Practice of Statistics, done, covered, ready to go. My classes, we're going to be practicing some multiple choice, and we're going to do the assessment after this, and then we will start chapter 5 after that. So it may be a couple days if you're waiting online for that. I will see if I can get something up earlier than that, but I can't promise anything, sorry. So good luck with your assessment. If you have any questions, drop a link down below or drop a question down below, like, kind, subscribe, whatever. You know the drill. But I appreciate all the support, and we'll talk to you soon.